What if I told you the most complete player to ever play the game, arguably the best to ever do it, not just at his position, but to ever do it, possibly the one who's attained the title of the GOAT, the greatest of all time, was also the most scrutinized player in the history of the sport? Unexpected wonder. Yo, back here in 2020, let's get it. Bringing you the first episode of what I like to call my Watch the Throne series, where we'll talk about many of the greatest to ever do it, whether in sports or in music, various forms of entertainment, acting, you name it. Suggestions may be ensued. This may be a way of discussing various people if they actually have attained things. A different take and a different spin, the way that I like to do it. And in this episode one, let's start off with LeBron James. King! The King's here. The King's back. The chosen one. Right? Let's talk about LeBron James. Where do we start? Where do you start with someone who's had so much written about him, so much spoken about him, debated about him, scrutinized, praised, beloved, hated, the hero, the villain? I mean, you can't write a more storybook character than what we have in the man who wears 23. The other 23, right? You hear all sides of LeBron. Before we get into the mythical, before we backtrack with his story, before we deal with his all the way up to the present, let's look at this, right? What is actually going on with LeBron James? First and foremost, let's talk about, is he possibly the GOAT? Many say there's no way, there's no. Why not? Oh, 3-6. 3 rings. That puts him in conversation with many of the greatest winningest players. Larry Bird got 3, for example, right? Tim Duncan got 5. Kobe got 5. MJ got 6. Kareem got 6. Magic Johnson got 6. Shaq got 4. Right? Bill Russell got 11. Ain't nobody touching him, right? Will Chamberlain got 2, I believe, right? LeBron's definitely in the conversation if we're talking from the ring conversation. Believe what, he's got 4 MVPs, almost on his way to his 5th one potentially if Giannis doesn't back-to-back repeat. So 4 MVPs, that puts him in good company as well. All right. Look at his scoring. What is he? Did he pass in both Kobe and Jordan? I believe he's 3rd all time on his way chasing down the mailman, Karl Malone, right? And the good old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for number 1 spot. So he may finish his career with, top scoring. Rebounding. On his way to 10,000 rebounds, which is impressive. On his way to 10,000 assists, which is massively impressive considering he's also a forward. He's a small forward. He plays point forward, but, he's not going out of his way to get assists like Russell Westbrook did at certain points, right? So you look at it defensively, you know what I'm saying? He's got the defensive credentials as well. When you look at all the stats, Finals MVP, I believe he's got 3 of them things, so that's impressive, ain't it? Right? He pulled what hadn't been done since Bill Russell, where he went to 8 straight finals. Massively impressive, right? Especially in this era. Okay. Let's see. Did Magic do such? I can't recall if Magic and the Showtime Lakers even pulled that off. I cannot recall that. Fact check me on that one. But it's a rare feat, right? Two different he's taken, let's see, 2 different organizations to finals. One, he brought the city of Cleveland the first in how long? So there's the storybook aspect of it as well, right? He's been through the adversity. You look at it at all regards. So he's definitely has the lore. I mean, he's a global icon. That's another big part of it. He's very iconic, right? But let's look at these different sides. With LeBron's story, you have like 8 different sides. On the one hand, you have his fanboys. And his fanboys are pretty damn toxic. People call them the Bron-sexuals. These days, you don't hear too much about him as he's getting into his later career. Just same thing happened with Jordan when, about his time of his Wizards days. It happens to all the greats. You don't have as much fan flame. Then on the other side, you have his immense haters, bro. They just hate on this man and where's the reason to hate on this man? We'll talk about that in his career and his personal life, both on and off the court, right? Why is there such hate, such vitriol, as some say, right? Such volatility when it comes to LeBron James. And when you look at it, he's the only one that's threatened the throne of for many, Michael Jordan, who's the untouchable, the king, the emperor, right? And there will be a later episode on MJ um, as well. Now, so you have those two sides, right? Then you have it on the side that likes him and what he does, what he represents. He's a family man, consummate professional, hard work, consistent excellence, pretty much from day one. You have that side. On the other side, people complain about he's not always a great leader. He cries, he whines, and all this. So you have this interesting dichotomy, questioning his manhood. On the other side, you have, his all around tool shed that he brings to the table, his versatility, his whatnot. He's done it in pretty much every capacity. Then on the other side, you have people who call out his flaws, his, sometimes poor free throw shooting. Sometimes his as he gotten older, his laxness on defense, even though he's one a lead defender back in his prime days, right? So you have that. And on the last 2 points, what do you have here? You have his aura about the game, right? He's so big. It becomes a LeBron system. Then on the other side, people critique it because they say he can't play team basketball. He there's a reason he failed. We're not going to talk about his teams, right? On the one hand, you say LeBron gets players too much. On the other side, you say he gets hated on too much. So you have a very polarizing figure in sports. Well, before we get to why that's a polarizing figure, let's go back to his high school years, right? I remember him coming out of high school about the same graduating class as my oldest brother, right? And I was mad skeptical. I was one of the biggest skeptics. I knew he could be a good player, but I didn't know how great he would become. Some were already putting him on, MJ, Kobe, and all them greats. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, can we pump the brakes and let the young man at least play not just a season, but at least play like 3 seasons? By season 3, I see this man become Adonis, right? He puts on all this muscle, and by year 4, I believe, he's in the NBA Finals. And I'm like, damn. Damn, he's that dude, right? By year 3, I'm like, he's that dude. By year 4, I'm like, damn, bruh. Already an all-time great. Already. How many players can you say were all-time greats by year 4? Magic, MJ, maybe Kobe, Shaq. All the legends. He was already on that. So he was on that trajectory. The only thing he needed was to get a title. And then the struggles and the battles and all that. And then by 2012, he gets that ring and went through all the adversity. The legendary game 6 of 2012, bro. Eastern Conference Finals. One of, if not the greatest performance ever, at least from a dominant perspective. Bro, that was something special. It wasn't the most spectacular stats-wise, but if you watch that game, he literally looked like a man possessed. It was the eye of the tiger intensified. It was even more serious than whenever I saw Tiger Woods at his peak, when I saw Roger Federer at his peak. Jordan, I don't even think I saw Jordan have these eyes. This man, like, dog, it was scary. He put the fear of God. Very seldom have I seen the fear of God put in an opposing team. They were dead in the water after that game. He talk about snatching the hearts and souls of people. That's what happened. Doing what he did. Didn't the repeat. Things didn't turn out because they ran into the last super team. The Heat and the Spurs were the last 2 super teams that we've seen in the league, and we could talk about that at another point. Regardless of that, then we move on to Cleveland days, right? We see what he did in the 2015 finals, and then the epic 2016. One of the greatest, just the first time in NBA history I call that the better team did not win. Better team. Not more talent, the better team. The Warriors were the better team. But talking about a will to win, Herculean effort. Yes, other players showed up, of course, Kyrie Irving, you name it. But LeBron, what he did. And then we saw what he did again and again. Now he's getting in LA, right? Year 2. Year 1 was a flop. That was a mismatched group. But year 2, look what's going, right? That's the brief overview of LeBron's career. We're not talking about all them battles in the Eastern Conference, taking down the Pistons, taking down the Celtics and all that good stuff, the big 3 and big 4 Celtics, right? You look at all of this, bro, and you just sit back and go, how can you not put him in contention for this argument? How is it not debatable, right? He's beaten some of the best teams in history. He's lost to some of the best teams in history. Jordan in his finals never played some of the level of the teams that LeBron has faced. Jordan never faced the 2017, 2018 Warriors teams. Hell no. Hell no. Come on now. What are you going to say? The Blazers? What are you going to say? The Supersonics? Come on now. Stop it. What, the Jazz? All them teams back in the day, for the most part, had like two superstars. Look at what LeBron was facing, bro. Them Spurs teams. 3 Hall of Famers. Feel me? The Warriors teams. 4 Hall of Famers. 3 and then 4. Draymond's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Y'all need to stop playing with him. Clay's in the Hall of Fame. Steph's in the Hall of Fame. KD's in the Hall of Fame. It's a question if the other AI, Andre Iguodala, if he going to be in the Hall of Fame. So potentially 5 Hall of Famers. Potentially. You feel me? When Jordan faced that kind of firepower, we know what happened to him with Boston. We saw at first what happened to him with the bad boys. Come on now. Like, y'all need to stop playing with him. Stop playing with LeBron. Jordan was favored in pretty much every single final he faced. LeBron, all but like 2 finals was he favored. Come on now. Y'all need to stop playing with my man. Right? If you look at it, right? Watch the throne. Just look at the greatness that's been on display consistently. 27, 7, and 7. We've gotten immune. We've gotten bored. On some Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp are correct in certain regards. We've gotten bored with the just constant excellence. Man, if many players average in a season, will LeBron constantly averages? Come on now, bro. Get out of here. Talking about LeBron. Oh, LeBron couldn't be able to play in this era and that era. Really, though? Really? Right. So in the 80s, you ain't trying to tell me LeBron when you dropped 25, 10, and got you 7 or 8. You trying to tell me? You trying to tell me he want to put that work on Bird Celtics? Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale? You trying to tell me he ain't dropping 25 casually? Come on now. Showtime Lakers? Who's that? And what teams in NBA history stopping this man? What teams in NBA history stopping this man? Oh, they gonna foul him. He's 6'8", 6'9", 250, 260. Come on now with it. Who's shutting him down? Talking about bullying. Jordan and Kobe didn't have the weight that LeBron has on him. He's a freak of nature. He's a freight train to the basket. Dog, he would destroy teams in the 80s and 90s. And yes, he would have gotten one from Jordan. Yes, he would have. Absolutely. He would have shut some of that shit down with Jordan. Absolutely. On the way to the finals. Absolutely. In the 90s, absolutely. We saw this man 2 times take 2 of the worst NBA Finals teams down. Drug on now. In 07 and 2018, everybody their mama know neither of them teams should have been in the finals. People like, but the 07 team had defense. Bro, he was, dog. There was a picture, I believe it was on Instagram, that showed 4 men around LeBron. People like, oh my God, Jordan. LeBron got the same damn treatment, but LeBron was able to take teams deeper into the playoffs. Where was the second start? Was it the Mo Williams? Well, come on, in his first stint in Cleveland, who did he have? Okay, when MJ was winning, let's see, who did MJ have? Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer, 50 great. Dennis Rodman, Hall of Famer, arguably the greatest rebounding. One of the greatest defenders of all time. Some people say the greatest defender of all time. People hype up Horace Grant. Y'all act like this man didn't have players. Y'all act like this man didn't have players. Y'all act like Steve Kerr couldn't shoot. Y'all act like John Paxson couldn't shoot. Come on now with it. Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, top 10 great all time. Some argue the greatest of all time, right? James Worthy, another Hall of Famer, arguably top 50 all time. Michael Cooper could ball. I mean, you go down the list, right? Vlade Divac, Kurt Rambis could play. He had some ballers on the team. Don't bring me, I already mentioned about Bird. Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Mr. Automatic, Hall of Fame, squads, Bad Boys Pistons, Dennis Rodman, Isaiah Thomas, John Sally, Rick Mahorn. Folk could play. Joe Dumars could play. Come on now. Hakeem the Dream. Clyde the Glide eventually played with him. Don't believe he won. Sir Charles played with him. Don't believe he won. But still, they played. Everybody who's won them played with great ones. Kobe played with Shaq. Kobe played with Paul Gasol. Ron Artest. Ballers. Lamar Odom. The list goes on and on. Everybody who's won them played, if not with Hall of Famers, legit ass players too. I'm pretty sure all of the winning teams have played with Hall of Famers. So don't give me that, oh, LeBron, D Wade and Chris Bosh or Kyrie and Kevin Love. That's what you need to be able to win in this league. Look at the players that Kawhi's won with. He had Tim Duncan, Manu, Tony Parker, all three future Hall of Famers. Pascal Siakam can ball. You feel me? People are saying borderline Kyle Lowry may eventually be a Hall of Famer. Perennial All-Star at bare minimum. This is how it is. Don't knock LeBron for what he has. And y'all act like some of y'all didn't think that LeBron would get taken down. When you look at it. Chicago Bulls under D Rose. Some of y'all with the Pacers with Roy Hibbert, Paul George, PG3. PG-13. Or I think it's 13 is his number. PG. You had David West. You had that whole squad, right? Lance Stevenson. Like Ruben Patterson was a Kobe stopper. Lance Stevenson was the LeBron stopper. Right? That nonsense, right? Y'all act like some didn't think both the Mavs, the Mavericks, the Spurs weren't gonna take them down. Y'all act like this wasn't expected. And then when LeBron James, he had an easy walk. Some didn't think that Toronto wasn't gonna take him down. Come on now. A few did think the Hawks. Not many, but a few thought the Hawks. Y'all act like this man never battled through game sevens. Come on now. You look at his track record. The worst, he decided in free agency where he wanted to go. And he formed and destroyed the league. Right. But they won only 2 out of 4 times. Fascinating. Okay. Never three-peated. But, only 4 teams in NBA history three-peated, and it's only 3 franchises. The Boston Celtics under Bill Russell, back in the day with all the legends and Hall of Famers. The Bulls did it twice, obviously, in the 90s. And Shaq and Kobe, the Dynasty Lakers. It's difficult to three-peat. Hell, the Warriors, the Juggernaut, 3 out of 5. They didn't even three-peat. Just how it is, right? Let's watch the throne. Where's all the shrapnel coming against this man? He's been exemplary on the floor. Oh, he's had meltdowns. Everybody's had meltdowns in bad games. That's just what happens. It's part of the game. If you're a baller, you know this. You're not going to have great shooting nights. You're not going to have... But LeBron has not had many of them. Some of them were at the highest levels. Don't act like Jordan was perfect and everything. But 6-0, bro, y'all act like this man didn't have help. Y'all act like this man did it alone. No, that's not how this works. Magic Johnson, he had Kareem with him. He had players with him to ride with him. They never even won back-to-back. You feel me? So, what are we talking about? As far as I remember, the Showtime Lakers, Tim Duncan, his teams never won. The Spurs teams never won back-to-back. But they were always in the playoffs. They were always competitive. But we never throw shade at Tim Duncan, right? Oh, because it's above 500 in wins, right? What is it? What is so hard and so much against LeBron? Give me a legitimate, logical argument. What has he done off the court for y'all to give him this hate? I think y'all would embrace him if you would have had, is he too perfect? Is that what it is? Is it that now in this day and age, when there's this image of somebody, is it because y'all feel like no, you can't be LeBron, you can't relate? Even with Jordan, there was he was doing things magically, but he didn't have this crazy exterior, right? It's like why some people love what Andy Ruiz did at this first fight with Anthony Joshua was like the everyman, even though Andy Ruiz has skills that are uncommon to most people. Still, it's the appearance of things. LeBron, is he too pristine? Is he too perfect in some people's eyes? I think that has to be something the case. There is a point of envy towards it. Like people like Steph Curry, they were liking him because I can learn to shoot. I'm 6 foot or so. I'm 6'3". Steph Curry's not impressive physically, but LeBron, he's just like he's sculpted out of granite, out of marble, right? Some people say the Greek god body type. He's just blessed like that, and some people can't accept it. People praise about Tom Brady because Tom Brady, bro, he's not physically like he's just very skilled at what he does, right? So when you look at it, it's like I can't attain that, so I'm going to hate on it and not appreciate it. And it's a toxic mentality, honestly. When you look at it, LeBron James, I'm a fan of his. I don't overly state what it is about his skills, his talents. I critique, objectively. But this hatred that he gets doesn't make any sense. And where is it earned? Where is it earned? You tell me, what is it that I'm missing about the king? Do you not like that he says he's the great? All of the greats believe that they were the best. You have to believe that you're the best. If you're not, then what the hell are you doing this for? I thought we wanted winners. But then you critique him for when he loses, even though he constantly does whatever he can to win. Shouldn't we appreciate the struggle even more? Shouldn't we appreciate the imperfection even more? You would think. Because isn't that relatable to many of us? Many of us strive for the top, but we get kicked down and then we have to go back at it again. But for some reason, because apparently people paint this perception that LeBron has to be perfect, that since he's not perfect, since he has all these God given talents, we want him to achieve more than others. Is that fair to him? No. But we don't care, as consumers, as the general public, who cares about fairness to an athlete? Who cares if the perspective on someone is right, right? Isn't that a perspective on projection on what other people have? Isn't it insecure? That vicariously people want to see and paint him as a villain? Isn't this the same thing that people do towards Superman Kal-El as a character? Isn't it the same thing they did to John Cena as a character? When something appears too perfect, we want to see it crash and burn. We, being the society. I wouldn't say myself, obviously. But why is this case? Why is it this enmity? Why is this dislike towards a figure who showcases excellence and is a paragon of what things should be attained? Y'all act like LeBron didn't do hard work. Y'all act like LeBron ain't got pressure on him. Y'all act like LeBron hasn't drugged teams who don't belong. Would it have been better if he lost? It's this weird, oxymoronic, hypocritical, just cognitive dissonance. Because at the one hand, you want him to win, but at the same time, you love when he loses. How does that make any sense? Explain this to me. Unexpected Wonder, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the subject matter. What do you think of LeBron? Be honest and be fair. If you don't dislike him, please explain as to why. If you like him, please explain as to why. Is he the GOAT? Is it why you say he can't be the GOAT? Explain this, because this whole conversation is muddled, messy, and a lot of it's unnecessary pieces. Can we rely on performance alone? If you, what is your criteria that you're basing it on? And if you're giving him flaws, then you please hold that same criteria to the other legends and greats. All right? Can we do that? Can we be fair towards the man for once? All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. In the next episode of this Watch the Throne series, we'll definitely be dealing with one of the all-time greatest rappers. Check you out later.